Good morning, children. I think you must have remembered the taught lessons. Today, we are going to discuss a poem that is Macavity, the Mystery Cat. First of all, we should see what has been written in the beginning. Do you have a pet cat? Generally, people have a pet dog, but question is different. Do you have a pet cat? Have you ever noticed anything mysterious about it? What are strange things in a cat? If you have noticed, it is not easy to say whether even every cat is a mystery. Be careful. It is not easy to say whether every cat is a mystery, but Macavity is one. It means Macavity is a mysterious cat. What is the name of cat in this poem? Macavity. Okay. One thing is that Macavity is a mysterious cat for sure. What is it that makes him a perfect mystery cat? After reading this poem, we can know. This Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called the hidden paw. You know, paw is a part of body, and he is called the hidden paw. For he is the master criminal. Okay? Means Macavity is the master criminal who can defy the law, who can disobey or resist openly the law. He is the bafflement of a Scotland Yard. He is the bafflement means he is confoundment of a Scotland Yard. What is a Scotland Yard? The headquarters of the London police force. And bafflement means confoundment. So, Macavity is the confoundment or bafflement of Scotland Yard. The flying squad's despair. Flying squad means a group of police or soldiers ready to move into action quickly. Listen again. Flying squad is a group of police or soldiers ready to move into action quickly. The flying squad's despair. Despair means hopelessness. For when they reach the scene of crime, for London police, for when they reach the scene of crime, site of crime, Macavity is not there. Means after committing the crime, Macavity goes quickly from, goes away or run away from that place after committing the crime. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. Poet says, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. Dear children, law, you know, there are certain social laws, okay? You know, constitutional laws, okay? There are certain religious laws. So you can say laws includes social, religious, or constitutional. So Macavity has broken every human law. Other is he breaks the law of gravity. What is law of gravity? This is this is the law of physics, gravitational force of the earth. The earth attracts a thing towards it. If you throw a thing in the air, automatically it will go on the earth due to gravitational force of the earth. Okay? His powers of levitation is floating in the air without support. Okay? His powers of levitation means his powers of floating in the air without support would make a fakir stare. Can you tell what is a word fakir? This is not an English word. I think a fakir is a very knowledgeable person, ideal person. So a fakir stare, a fakir to gaze. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. After committing the crime, Macavity run away from that place and you will not find Macavity there. You may seek him, you may search him in the basement. बेसमेंट जैसे तहखाना है. ओके, यू मे सीक हिम इन द बेसमेंट, यू मे लुक अप in the air. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity is a ginger cat. Ginger means cautious. Cautious. Macavity is a cautious cat. Cautious is alert. He is very tall and thin. You can see in the picture also. Macavity is tall and thin also. You would know him if you saw him. Yes, you can know only after seeing him, for his eyes are sunken in. eyes are deeply set in the sockets. His brow is deeply lined with thought. Brow is eyebrows is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. His head looks like a rounded roof. His coat is dusty from neglect. Means Macavity is not very careful about his dress. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. Macavity has whiskers and that is uncombed. His, he sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. Okay. He sways his head from side to side, just like the movements like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Means what you think about this cat, this mysterious cat, but in reality it is different. This is the thing which makes Macavity strange. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake, completely awake. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is a fiend in feline shape. Fiend means devil. Fiend means devil in feline shape. Feline relating to a cat, a monster of depravity. Depravity is moral corruption. Macavity is a monster of moral corruption. You may meet him in a by street. You know, a road, you know, a street, and you know, a by street. You may meet him in a by street. You may see him in the square where two roads cut to each other. That is a square. But when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. Dear children, this poem has been written by T.S. Eliot. He was a British poet. He was a Nobel Prize winner. His famous book, I remember, The Wasteland. Be careful about the spelling of waste. W-A-S-T-E. A wasteland. He had written this poetry, written this book of poetry after Second World War. This poem is about a mystery cat, Macavity. He is called the master criminal who can defy the law. Even the Scotland Yard and the flying squad are unable to catch it. Macavity breaks human law as well as the law of gravity. He makes a fakir stare through his powers of levitation. He is very tall and thin, having sunken eyes, highly domed head, dusty coat, and uncombed whiskers. He is called a devil in the form of a cat. He is quite alert and smart in actions. Now, there are certain exercises. We should see this working with the poem. Read the first stanza and think. First, is Macavity a cat really? What will you say? I think you should say Macavity is not really a cat. Second question, if not, who can Macavity be? You can say Macavity can be a master criminal. Question number 2, complete the following sentences. First, a master criminal is one who can defy the law. Second, the Scotland Yard is baffled because they don't find Macavity at the scene of crime. Third, you have to fill in the blank. After that, because Macavity moves much faster than them, you can fill here the flying squad cannot catch him because Macavity moves much faster than them. Question number 3. A cat, I am sure, could walk on a cloud without coming through. Jules Verne. Which law is Macavity breaking in the light of the comment above? You can say Macavity is breaking the law of gravity. Question number 4. Read stanza 3 and then describe Macavity in 2 or 3 sentences of your own. Can you do this? Macavity is a tall and thin cat, you can say. He wears dusty coat. He moves his head like a snake from side to side. Question number 5. Say false or true for each of the following statements. Macavity is not an ordinary cat. Okay, true. Second, Macavity cannot do what a fakir can easily do. This is false. Third, Macavity has supernatural powers. Yes, true. Fourth, Macavity is well dressed, smart and bright. No, false. Fifth, Macavity is a spy, a trickster, and a criminal, all rolled in one. True. Question number 6. Having read the poem, try to guess whether the poet is fond of cats. If so, why does he call Macavity a fiend and monster? Yes, the poet is fond of cats. He calls Macavity a fiend and monster because Macavity is a mischievous and naughty cat. Okay. Last question, 7th. Has the poet used exaggeration for a special effect? Yes. Has used exaggeration. हिंदी में जिसको हम लोग अतिशयोक्ति कहते हैं, अतिशयोक्ति, आवश्यकता से अधिक. Has the poet used exaggeration for a special effect? Yes, the poet has used exaggeration for a special effect in the following lines. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake, for he is a fiend in feline shape. So, dear children, I think you will solve all the exercises by yourself. If you have any kind of confusion, you listen this video again and again. I hope you should remember this poem by heart also. I think you will do all the things. Thank you.